Luigi's Mansion was a game that I got for a long gone Christmas, and I beat it within a day or two. I remember feeling underwhelmed and disappointed since it wasn't long enough, and all I had heard was praise for the game. But past Nick was a stupid kid. He lacked experience. He didn't appreciate the finer things. Nowadays, I play games very differently to how I did when I was young. I used to play games compulsively as a challenge. I wouldn't put it down until I was done. But now I stop and smell the flowers when I play a game. I spot the little nooks and crannies and engage with the mise-en-play. Because I'm goddamn pretentious. Mise-en-scene is used in film and theater, meaning that everything on the scene, or in this case, used in the game, is there for an intended purpose. It's the idea that the creator put everything there for a reason. So mise-en-play is everything in the game. Everything from the cover art to the lines of code can have meaning. And this is why I have such an appreciation for Luigi's Mansion. A lot of care was put into this game. In fact, this episode was originally going to be on the 3DS sequel, but I can't capture footage for it, so I decided to revisit the classic, and hope that my ideas would still match up. If you haven't played Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon, then I highly suggest you do. It's honestly one of the best 3DS games on the market. So Luigi has obviously clicked one of those 1 millionth visitor on a website and has won himself a mansion. It's fully furnished and haunted, and in today's house market, that's a pretty good deal. But Mario is missing. Again. We'll never forget Nintendo. And Luigi has to find him because who else is gonna help him move in his stuff? Toadsworth? I mean, he's a tiny old man. He doesn't even lift. So you start the game and you notice that Luigi is shaking with a face looking like a rejected Wallace and Gromit character. One of the first things that I noticed is that you were able to see Luigi's breath. So you know that this place is a cold husk of what it once was. The floor attracts a lot of dust and the whole place is lifeless, uncared for. No direction is given to you, so Luigi has to take his small steps and call out his brother's name in a trembling voice. This entire situation has never happened before. No conflict has found you, but you're definitely expecting it. These first moments of the game set up the tone so well. A quirky horror. Luigi is roaming this dark emptiness, but his nose is bouncing as he walks. It's a funny contrast. So after Luigi bricks himself so hard no big bad wolf can blow down his house, or should I say, mansion, we're introduced to Professor E.Gadd, one of my favorite Mario characters. And he's all like, "Good news, everyone!" Everyone being Luigi, and sends him off to his very probable demise. E.Gadd is light-hearted and optimistic. He's the type of guy that would go down to the 5th circle of hell to go fishing in the River of Styx. The guy is just so upbeat. Everything about him, from his silly swirly glasses to his voice speak. I dig his philosophy. You gotta find the fun in a bad situation. E.Gadd sets up this contrast to the horror tones, to say, there isn't anything to be afraid of. The developers could have designed E.Gadd as a character who has seen some things, mentally scarred with a torn up psyche, to set up the dangers of the mansion, just to emphasize the horror elements of the game. But this lightheartedness of Luigi's Mansion is the whole point. It's about overcoming fear by embracing it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the power to overcome it. Now, I appreciate a good horror. It's a genre built to explore the core parts of the human condition. But I don't like playing horror games, mainly because I don't understand the fun in crapping my pants. But Luigi's Mansion has a lot of simple horror elements, which are accessible to young people or those with weak butts. Think of Luigi's Mansion as baby's first horror game. There's so many layers to this game that really brings out its charm. The simple things like dust and spiderwebs that you can interact with. It adds a lot of personality to the game. It suits the theme and you understand that this place you're in is deserted. You're alone. And throughout the game there's a significant tone of loneliness. And it makes sense. It's the Mario Brothers. Who is Luigi without Mario? There's a subtle uneasiness to the player in being in control of a vaguely familiar character like Luigi, all the while having his mechanics not be what's expected. It all used to be about running and jumping, but after playing this game, I fell in love with Luigi. He's the type of guy I want my hypothetical daughter to marry. In all honesty, I think Luigi is a great example of a good character. He's just overflowing with personality, and he's definitely a standalone character on his own. Mario's a simpleton, jumping around like yahoo, wahoo, yahee, woohoo! Like no matter what the situation is. In a haunted house? Above a pool of lava? On holiday? In the freezing depths of space? Playing sports? Fight to the death? It doesn't matter. Mario is always happy. One emotion is one-dimensional. What is he afraid of? What are his dreams? His only goal seems to be to save Princess Peach, and what does he do once he has her? Well, you know. Besides go-kart, golfing, tennis, board games, and more fights to the death. Pay attention, guys. For a first date, you should bring your girl to a knife fight. Such a lover boy, am I right, guys? Now, the internet is filled with lists saying, best character ever! These lists are usually filled with Master Chief, Mega Man, Gordon Freeman, just to name a few. And I think that's kind of a loose definition of character, when really these characters are more like avatars. No, not those. Ew, definitely not that. Ew, don't, ew, no. And that's totally fine. These avatars are awesome, but they have a very separate purpose from a character. Avatars are more about being an agent for the player. It's about the game. No one really cares about how Mr. Game & Watch's marriage is going during a game of Octopus. But avatars and silent protagonists are absolutely cool because they can be whatever we want them to be. They're an agent for us, the player, to project ourselves onto. And there is totally a blurred line between an avatar and a character. I might cover avatars in games at a later date, so don't go pooping out your mouth about how Gordon Freeman is the best character ever. Because that's not the point, you dingus! They're just different. Compare a well-rounded character who explores and reflects the aspects of the human condition to an avatar who is used as an agent of gameplay. An avatar and a character are fundamentally different because they explore different aspects of the player. So let's say that Mario is an avatar and Luigi is a character. It's pretty swell to see how much personality is put into Luigi's Mansion. Every area has something to explore, like ghosts, collectible booze, and money. So you better get into each nook and cranny, sucking, blowing, and banging everything in sight. And I really read way too much into why money is hidden in a chandelier. This mansion must have been in a rough neighborhood, probably next door to Wario. As well as your basic ghosts that you come across, there are also unique ghosts. Each with distinct personalities and are designed with exaggerated features to suit the room that they reside in. These ghosts are a challenge and each one acts as a puzzle. It really drives home how simplistic mechanics and environments can be used to their full potential. Luigi's Mansion doesn't have a giant skybox and spectacle with a huge metagame. It's simple and it exaggerates the small features it has, which in itself is actually pretty charming. The tone really has an emphasis on fear. But with the small things like booze having unique puns for nicknames, it keeps the tensions light. When you start off the game, you approach kind of cautiously, and that's natural. People are afraid of the unknown. Luigi doesn't jump in with an assault rifle like, yeah, shoot the Grim Reaper in a stupid hoodie. No, we have been through this. Luigi is afraid, shivering, calling out for his big brother in a crackled, wimpy voice. But then later in the game, you realize that you have started running around the mansion without a care in the world, whistling and humming along some music, occasionally calling out your brother with confidence. As you get comfortable exploring the majority of the mansion, you climb up 3 floors without finding a ghost, until you get to the new area, then bazap! There's a blackout. All of the lights go off. Now you're surrounded by ghosts, and you must make this trek from the roof all the way back down to the basement to turn the lights back on. This segment of the game is so daunting. All of Luigi's hard work was all for naught. It's like building a sandcastle and then the tide of life comes in and is like, get out of here, nerd! At this point, you're attacked by more ghosts than ever. You feel overrun, and in the flip of a switch, the tensions are suddenly really high. Hordes of specters are stalking you, and they just keep coming. You have to run away if you want even the slight chance of surviving. It's startling. The pace of the game was suddenly put into overdrive. It's very well set up. The long trek of quiet up to the rooftop, just to set up one of the most difficult parts of the game, it's really clever pacing. It gets you in this false sense of security. It's like in a slasher movie where it's all quiet and then suddenly the killer comes out like oogity boogity boo! No, wait, it's not really like that. It's more like when you're a little kid and you have to turn out the light before going to sleep, so you flip the switch and you freaking book it to your bed with your feet curled up so the boogeyman don't bite your feet off. There's nothing to be afraid of, and that's the whole point of Luigi's Mansion. Things can seem scary, but you'll be okay. And then, oh, what? No! Nothing is okay! I want my blankie! This is the point where Luigi encounters his biggest fear. Luigi's big brother, who everyone knows is bitter, was captured and defeated. So how would Luigi even fare? Luigi knows this, and it's obvious that he's afraid. He lacks the confidence. He thinks so highly of his brother, so to see him defeated will justify his fears. But Luigi conquers waves of the undead to save the people he loves.
Not because, damn it, I won this mansion and I'm evicting you ghastly squatting ghouls.
Luigi only thinks that King Boo is a threat because he thinks Mario is more capable than he is. And in his second adventure, he fulfills his potential and saves the day for absolutely selfless reasons. So, spoiler alert, Luigi saves Mario. And what did you expect? For Luigi to find a cold corpse of his brother at the end? No, this isn't Game of Thrones. You know, it's a Nintendo game. It's gonna have a happy ending. I mean, it's not like the mansion is a representation of Luigi's ego, large, convoluted, and empty, yet haunted with insecurities reflecting King Boo, who is an allegorical figure of Luigi's desire for success, the idea of being wealthy and having his own mansion. Obviously, his inner ego captures Mario out of detest for stealing the undeserved limelight, and of course, Luigi being forced to live in the shadow of his brother, bringing him to insanity, leading Luigi to overcome the inner darkness of his mind, aka the mansion. There's no such thing as actual ghosts, and they were actually embodiments of Luigi's psyche. Luigi's own mental scarring is the only thing that's haunting his mansion. He couldn't take being second best anymore. He deserved better, so he mentally exiled his brother, leading him to murder? No. Of course not. A Nintendo game could never, ever have that level of depth in its subtext, right? No, he just wanted to save his brother and become a Ghostbuster. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. But I digress. You can say that I'm reading too much into this, but game designer Hideo Kojima tweeted a picture of sausage and bread and a guy stared at it for 3 hours out of the hopes that it has a clue to a new game. Just think about that and have a bit of perspective. Luigi's Mansion is actually pretty dark though. There are old sepia-toned photographs of children in the same room where you find their ghostly counterparts. And that's a pretty dark detail. And I'm sure if you thought about it, there might be a tragic backstory between each unique ghost. You can be crazy analytical and look way too deep in not just games, but any media. And for me, it's what enriches what I think of Luigi's Mansion. And I'm sure you guys have your own reasons for liking your own favorite games. Luigi grows with his adventure. He isn't like, yeah, genocide of an alien scourge single-handedly, whatever. He's a person with flaws. He's relatable. We all have fears. We can care about something. Luigi has a personality and his actions express it. He isn't meant to be some handsome dude with a cropped set of hair walking towards the screen with a gun in his hand. But that's it. Luigi is not a badass, and therefore, he is. So praise Luigisus, because this game right here really deserves a lot more credit than it gets. Luigi is my goddamn hero, and he actually stands for quite a bit. Fulfill your potential. Don't compare yourselves to those who might seem bigger or better than you. There isn't anything to be afraid of, and appreciate the finer things. It is the Luigi way. Would you like to keep up to date with what I'm working on? Or maybe you want to ask me a question? Then be sure to follow me and my shenanigans on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to see some of the art that I make, you can follow me on Tumblr. And sometimes I stream art or games on my Twitch channel. So, you can follow that too. I really liked making this video, and if you guys enjoyed watching it, then let me know in the comments right after clicking that like button. It really helps me out so much. Thank you so much for all of your support, your kind words, sharing it with your friends. It really means a lot to me. You guys are great. If you like what I do and want to support the show, then please consider subscribing. And maybe you might need a bit more convincing. So check out my last video. It's on Okami, with the Hideki Kamiya seal of approval, with such stellar reviews as fun and great smiley face. Now here's some stupid pictures of my face that didn't make the video. Oh, that one's good. It's nasty. Gross. Oh, gotta put that one on a shirt. In case you don't want people to touch you. Let's just replace the biohazard sign and just put my face there instead. Can you imagine my face on hazmat suits? It'd be pretty fitting.